We ready?
Yes.
All right.
Alright.
Okay. Welcome back to another episode of
Dubbed or Subbed.
The Dubbed or Sub podcast. We're just going to be calling it Dubbed or Sub.
I don't care. It's under his Dubbed or Sub. I don't know, actually.
Welcome back to another episode of Dubbed or Sub. This time we'll be talking about Season 4 of My Hero.
Season
4. What were the things that I was going to say?
Fuck Gentle Criminal.
Yeah.
We will not be talking about him for the rest of the podcast after this point.
Like, this moment is to say that whole second arc, nearly BS, except for, like, the last couple minutes of it. Oh, that's what it was. Yes, there are spoilers. No, we won't be talking about Gentle Criminal. And yes, Vanessa deserved his harem. Anyways, who wants to start? That was honestly one of my favorite parts of the second arc. Just how excited he was to be like, yes, I'll do this whole thing.
There weren't very many good parts with the second arc. But, first arc, very eventful arc, I would say.
I honestly think it was my favorite arc of My Hero.
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
By far. 100%
Really?
by far, yes.
Can I have reasonings, though?
Well, I honestly okay, for me, it had the...
Wait, which arc? Though you said the first arc
The
of
first
the
arc.
fourth.
First arc of fourth season.
Okay.
The
Well, I feel like
one
both
saving
of you-
Aerie.
Right.
But I feel like both of you guys don't believe me.
I would just like to hear some explanation.
Honestly, it felt like it had the most weight.
Oh, absolutely.
Out of every single arc, there's the only other moment where I was as, like, invested in the show was the fight with All Might and All for One. All for One. I don't feel like the rest of the show had any, like, dramatic, dire importance, because the entire time we don't know what's going to happen. Like, we never know what's actually going to happen. And for spoilers, big red bar, Night Eye dying.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, what? Midio losing his powers. What? Like, it genuinely
happened.
It had the most weight, and it was the most, and for me, the most impactful arc that isn't like, oh, this happened and we learned something new, or this happened and we passed an exam. It was, yo, this happened, somebody died. Mirio lost his powers. Deku punched somebody so hard that he deactivated and activated his quirk again.
He killed that dude.
Yo, Chisaki should have been dead.
No, he was dead. I think the only reason that he wasn't dead is because Aries' quirk was going overboard.
Oh, and saved him?
Yeah.
Probably.
Because he was dead. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Oh my god. But like, seriously though. Because there weren't any other arcs that had as much weight. Like, watching the rest of the shows, like, oh, and it feels like My Hero feels more like a slice of life than it does a Shonen, which I think is a lot of people's, like, discrepancies and issues with it. It feels more like, oh, this is a story about somebody's life, and there's also fighting. It's not like, oh, this is like a fighting anime.
But the fights are dope.
The fights in Season 4 are dope. The rest of the fights have been kind of lackluster. Like I said last time.
Is that what was said last time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I said that Bakugo Deku 1 and 2 were legit. All Might, All for One was pretty hype. That's all I can really
There just
do.
weren't that many fights.
And that's what I'm saying.
But Season 4, Arc 1...
The fights were lit.
Constant.
Like, who did we open up with? You open up with the Mimic in the walls, and then every little fight. So there's Amajiki versus the three brothers. I don't know what, not brothers, but I don't know what they were.
The three thugs.
The Crystal Dude, the Munchie, and the guy who pulled stuff to him. He pulled the cops' guns and pulled Amajiki's shells.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that was his quirk.
They couldn't shoot at him.
He could steal people's quirks.
No.
No.
No?
100% positive. Because he took the cops' guns and stuff away from them.
No, they couldn't shoot at him while his quirk was enabled, or they couldn't aim their guns at him, because as soon as Aizawa stopped his quirk, the cops could point their guns at him.
So do you remember when he pulled Amajiki's shell, like his oyster shell, off of his hand?
Because Aizawa's quirk had worn off at that point.
Yes. Okay, well, we're gonna rewatch this.
Yeah.
We're gonna specifically rewatch this because Amajiki, that was my favorite fight, or maybe my second favorite fight. Either way, so you have Amajiki, you have Red Riot, which was hype.
Yo, Red Riot and Fat Gum.
The one thing that I liked about Season 4, or like one of the few things that I liked about Season 4 is the progression of Red Riot's character.
He had 2 title episodes.
Oh yeah, he had the original one where he fought the dude with the blades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was his debut.
I actually forgot about that. Wow, there was a bit that happened before you even get to the raid.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cause what? Oh yeah, because that's one where what was in that one? The one where you have the.
That's where they first experienced the drug that amplifies the dude's quirk.
Yeah, but where Ashido is in his his flashback was the one where he was fighting Rampa and the other dude, right?
That was
the second
That was
episode.
in the riot, right?
No.
That was in the fight
That was
where
in
he
the
was
raid.
passed out.
That was when his arms cracked.
Yeah, when he's fighting Rampa.
Yeah, Rappa.
That's not the Red Riot debut. That's a different...
Yeah, I'm saying the
It
one
was
where the
2 episodes
flashback was
later.
in the fight with Rappa.
Yes.
Okay. You were just addressing the first episode, so...
But no, I think that I think that the fights in this one were actually they were important. And that's the reason why I like this art or this season so much is because there weren't any throwaway fight. There weren't any fights that every episode had a fight dedicated to it. And that's the same thing I said when we talked about the first 2 seasons. It's oh yeah, there's a bunch of things going on and the fights are super short. You'll have 3 or 4 that last maybe 5 minutes in one episode. But you get every single episode has its own debut fight and it's actually explained and thought through and they don't feel like throwaways to me.
Well, I mean, the only thing that allowed the fights to happen in Season 4 the way that they did is the fact that All Might retired. So this is a post-Symbol of Peace world.
Mm-hmm.
If All Might was still, the number 1 hero and still active in the community, then none of these real fights would have happened because he would have taken care of them himself.
It doesn't have anything to do with the story in the show. It has everything to do with the way that it's written and produced. So, Muscular, you can turn the fight with Muscular into at least a 10-minute fight instead of it being 4 punches thrown by 2 or 4 punches thrown by 1 person, and then Deku punches him twice and he's essentially done. That's what I'm getting at. The fights actually had weight and they were longer than just throwaways. I need to change this. They're longer than just throwaways.
Yeah.
And the best fights from the prior seasons, Deku and Bakugo.
They were episode-long fights.
Exactly, that's what I'm getting at. This one you have, they are explained, and then even with the Red Riot one in the raid, it takes a break halfway through to explain his backstory, but it's still, this is what this episode is about. So, I don't know, man. Why'd you looked at me like you didn't believe that this was my favorite arc.
I didn't hear what you said.
When I said that arc 4 was season 4 arc 1 was my favorite?
I didn't hear Arc 1. I was still stuck on Arc 2.
Oh. Oh. Fuck arc 2.
Yeah.
Fuck arc 2.
But what else happened in Arc 1 here?
Mirio messed up Shisaki for a bit.
For a bit, got his quirk erased, and still kept going at him.
Yep.
Shizaki's quirk, though,
Yeah.
it's just insane. I honestly thought it had something to do with, expanding and, expanding blood vessels or something, and that's what was making, things explode.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Which kind of made sense with when he would get, the hives on him.
When he said his
yeah,
blood boiled.
Yeah.
It makes sense for it to be a blood type thing, but then it wouldn't have been as epic.
Mm-hmm.
Because he took his henchman and was like, hey, you died for me, right? Alright, good. You're part of me now.
Jesus.
And then did that again with a bigger person. What? Oh my god. Okay, Red or Fat Gum, Lockdown, Rikyu,
Lockdown?
Ryukyu.
Lockdown was the one that got stabbed with
Rocklock.
padlocks.
Rocklock, his quirk was Lockdown.
Yeah.
Oh.
Favorite out of the three?
Fat Gum.
Fat Gum.
For sure, Fat Gum.
Fat Gum got so much time.
I know.
He was, when he came back. So the first time that I had seen it, I watched up until after the raid, before the three of us had seen it, before the two of them had seen it. And when the smoke had cleared away, and it was just him there, super slimmed down, I was like, oh god, this is gonna get amazing. And then I didn't know what the punch was gonna be, but being able to break the dude's shield after Red Riot and him had tried to break through it twice already. Ooh, shit was clean. I like season 4. Okay? I don't know why you
Season
guys
4
are
was
yelling.
nice. It was nice.
I was not that big of a fan.
Why?
I don't know. The first arc was fine. But
Is it just because the second arc left a sour taste in your mouth?
I don't know. I'm honestly not sure if that's what's altered my idea on season 4 or not, but it just seems like there's the whole second arc was just space filler, and they're like, let's throw in this dope fight scene at the end to see to hold everything together to get people's attention. Even Bethany said it slowed down. And then so where did that even come from? I don't.
Probably intentional to slow it down. Because with everything that happened in arc 1, it probably was hey, this is extremely intense. Let's try to calm it down afterwards. Because for me, it's a pretty good extension. Arc 2 could have been good if Gentle Criminal wasn't so weird.
God!
I think that's
why'd you
why
bring
we
him
didn't
up?
like it. Because if we're going to talk about Arc 2, then we need to talk about Gentle Criminal.
I hate him so much.
So uncomfortable.
The pedophile.
That's what made it weird. And the fact
It was
weird before that.
he was cringy. It was weird before.
It was weird before we realized she was in middle school.
Yes. I thought she was just a small human. She's not.
He was a joke. If he was more of a legit character and didn't seem like a throwaway character, then I feel like it would be easier to like Arc 2. Because if he was serious, man, because he actually had a pretty the episode where it broke down his backstory, it was legit and understandable. But he himself was a joke.
Yes.
If he wasn't a joke, Arc 2 would be pretty good. Because his quirk was legit. He jumped off a hair.
No. His quirk was very legit if they had given that quirk to someone better.
I don't know how the elasticity on air works, but...
Because he can make anything that he touches elastic, including the air.
That begs the question, can you touch air?
Yes.
I feel like that's debatable.
How is touching air debatable?
Because you're in air. It's not you can't,
This
there's
is
not touching it. You can touch something that's physical.
If
Fish
water's
touch water.
wet.
Yeah.
Is water wet?
Are you specifically asking me?
Both of you?
Oh, I would say no, water makes things wet.
Water is wet.
I gotta go with water is wet. But, back to my hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Gentle Criminal is a pedophile.
Oh, man.
And they try to make it seem like a
Redeemable
good thing.
character.
It was just a small character fault. I don't think they ever actually
He brought out
acknowledged it
the
as a
love
fault.
in her. No, he gaslighted her.
And that's just to give it I don't know.
I hated him so much.
If it wasn't for La Brava and if he was more of a legit character, it would have been good. Is all I'm gonna say.
Or if they didn't make La Brava like a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. Even at that, he still would have been bad. And That's implying that La Brava's the only thing that made him a horrible character. He
No,
was
it made
a
him
horrible
weird.
character. It
He
made
was
him
not good.
worse.
He was not good.
But, like, the fight scene between them... Okay, the moment that Deku tracked the the elastic bubbles...
Oh, that was dope.
Built off of them, and then shot around back to hit him.
Yep.
Like,
Yup.
legit.
That was clean.
Legit fight. But everything around it was just like, I want this to be over. And the sad part is that General Criminal made the whole, like, festival arc about Eri, like, not
Important.
as impactful, yeah.
Although,
I didn't like how the whole purpose of, like, I liked everything that they're doing, like, on the side, but it seemed very minimal compared to, like, the whole purpose of the arc being, oh, can I make this kid smile? And it just, I don't know. It didn't seem like superhero work to me.
I feel like I'd have to disagree.
Why is that?
Because, like, that's, from the very beginning, that's All Might and Deku's, like, whole shtick. Is being able to smile through the pain and being able to smile through, like, all the issues. And I don't think that, like, overall, the festival itself, I feel like trying to make Eri smile was just a Deku video thing. Yeah, Tokura thing. Where it was, like, just the two of them, because for Class 1A, the festival and the dance thing wasn't about making Eri smile. For Bakugo, it was...
about killing them with their sound.
Yeah. For Jiryo, it was... Jiro?
Jiro.
Who am I thinking?
Kyoka?
Yeah. Who am I thinking?
Describe, man. I can't...
No, Jiro is the one I was thinking. Is there somebody named Jiryo?
There's Ojiro.
Oh, Jiro.
And Ejiro.
So, with Jiro, it was her, like... essentially coming out and coming to grips and, like, her whole sit down with her parents. It was legit. I think that the...
Right, I agree. There's a lot of development in it, but, like, Deku's comment while he's fighting the General Criminal, he's like, you're gonna take a little girl's ability to smile away? I'm like, bro, like, she could probably smile without you dancing. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like a very small thing to put at the climax of an arc.
I felt like it fit because that's what was most important to
Deku, for
at
sure.
the time. It was about not just making her smile, but doing the performance. But it was driven by making her want to smile.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan. Like, I can understand, like, that was Deku's motivation, and, like, that was, like, his main reasoning for doing everything that he does, and, like, why he wants to make her smile, because that's, like, the All Might, All for One power. Wait, is All Might's power called All for One? Or One for All? One for All, there we go. Okay.
He's all for one.
Right. That's the, like, One for All, like, slogan, basically. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, it seemed subpar to me.
On the random episode about them having to tame kids.
Yeah. I mean, it turned out okay, but, like, it seemed...
I feel like that story, like, that episode was just a front to get Endeavor and All Might to talk.
Maybe.
They were like, hey, we need to get them to talk. How?
Right.
Like...
Damn, there's so much about this that I guess I didn't think you guys wouldn't have liked. Wow.
Because they referenced their conversation in the last two episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that episode was literally just filler for them to get Endeavor and All Might to be there and talk.
Mm-hmm. I did like the progress with Endeavor, like, trying to be, like, you know, a decent person now, like, according to Shoto.
A different hero, not just better than All Might. Mm-hmm. He's being his own. Mm-hmm. Which, Endeavor.
That fight was fucking hype.
Yeah.
Hawks is dope as shit, though.
Now, do you see why I was waiting and excited for them to get into the show?
Yeah, Hawks is sick. And paired
like
with
his
Endeavor.
attitude.
What, you don't like his attitude?
Love his attitude.
You like
He is
everybody's attitude
very-
that's like that. You like Mark Sloan.
Hey, pause. Mark Sloan's a great man, alright?
Something like that.
He backs it up.
He's like Conor McGregor.
Yeah, he's like, and you have to love a Conor McGregor.
I love that he also just wants to be at like 20 or 30 and just walk the streets, but everyone likes him too much.
Like, literally, at 22, his goal, he literally said, I want to make it to where heroes have too much time on their hand. Mm-hmm. The overall, like, the emphasis behind that is, I want to make it to where we don't have, like, make peace. I want to make it to where we don't have to say, oh, there's this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. He just wants to be like, hey, can we all just, like, chill? And he was a little bit arrogant, but they need that. He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong the entire time in saying that nobody had tried to challenge All Might.
Correct.
Like, everybody had, like, just sat down and accepted that he was the number one hero, except for Endeavor, which is why he respects Endeavor.
Correct.
Which is understandable. So, and then also his quirk was super hype. Like,
yes.
Literally, probably not the best way to do it, but snagging everybody out of the building with each individual one of his feathers, and then them all coming back to him.
He can control it. And then
a dope quirk.
Putting them into Endeavor's back to make him fly.
Mm-hmm.
What? Phoenix in this bitch. Like, he rose again. Like, yo, Endeavor is completely redeemed.
You know, I definitely, like, with his intro, like, Hawks. Is it just Hawk?
Hawk.
Yeah. With his intro, I definitely thought he was...
Hawk? I think it's Hawks.
So with his intro, I definitely didn't think he was going to be the type of person that would assist anybody else. Like, in a fight, he would try to, like, take the glory for himself for, like, what?
He's such a good character.
Something like that.
I like him a lot.
What don't you like about him?
His attitude.
What about his attitude? What?
It's kind of self-explanatory.
No, like, what about his attitude don't you like? You don't like his attitude? What is his attitude, then?
Arrogant, over, like... I just don't, like, the way he holds himself. Like, to where he, like... He's the type of person that would walk up to the announcer, take the mic, have his own little spiel, and be like, yo, Endeavor, follow me up if you can. Like,
Yo, but Endeavor's follow-up, though.
He's like, watch me. Bet. I'm gonna slice this building with my fucking light rays. My hellfire.
Fucking Endeavor, bro. First, he sliced the thing. Did he slice the thing, or was it the Nomu that sliced the building?
That scene confused me. When he came out like the Beyblade.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What in that?
I did like how they showed, like, all of Endeavor's, like...
What the fuck he can do now?
What are they called?
Like special moves?
The special moves, like, the kids were working on.
Prominence.
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah.
What was it?
Prominence burn.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But yeah. Yo.
I like
seeing
Hawk.
him take him up into the sky, so he could just let loose.
That
Yeah.
whole last scene was...
The entire
I
last
thought he died.
episode.
And then
Thinking
he
died.
comes up, like, All Might in the fucking last fight that he was in.
He just puts his
Ooh.
fist in the air.
Ooh.
What else was there?
I like Endeavor now.
He's getting better.
Yep.
Doesn't completely redeem him for me.
No.
Doesn't completely redeem him, but he is good.
He has, in fact, done some fucked up things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thought it was interesting that they showed the flower thing with Shoto's mom.
Mm-hmm.
What?
The flower
How
thing?
Endeavor has been, like, trying to get...
Why did you think it was interesting?
Because it shows a different side to his character that we haven't been exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Because we haven't seen the kind of person of, like, the side of Endeavor that would, like, go out and get flowers that she mentioned once on their first date 1,000,000 years ago. It, like, shows a considerate, compassionate
not an
part.
Endeavor that we would imagine.
No.
No.
They're like, he doesn't even visit, like, he doesn't care about you, and she's like, you wrong.
Yeah.
It was a whole misdirection. It was a whole long con. Man,
They're playing the long game.
I think Endeavor accepted, or not. Obviously Endeavor accepted his fate that he would never be better than All Might, and when he's fighting Nomu and he starts overheating, it shows that. He literally, like, saying that Todoroki is bioengineered, it is true, but Endeavor wanted Todoroki to be better than him, like, bar none. And he went out of his way, kind of a messed up way to do it, But I don't think Endeavor ever wanted to not be there for Todoroki. Is just
he just did it poorly.
Wrong. Yeah, and it could be saying that Endeavor sending Todoroki's mom to the hospital was like a good thing because he's never stopped. As it shows, she's never stopped caring about her. So maybe she did legitimately go crazy. Maybe she did just break down. Maybe he was hard on her then at that time, and was like, "Hey, I fucked up," but was never able to like actually come to grips with it. So no, this whole last like episode with Endeavor would actually changes a lot of the ways that like you should look at the rest of the show. At least for me.
For Endeavor, I'm comparing him to that parent that like never made it in football and like presses his kid super hard to be the quarterback of like the whole school and go off to college to like a D1 school and like like that's what I compare Endeavor to because he's only focused on like the one thing and he forgets like, oh wait, I'm this kid's parent, not just his coach.
He was like, I was the best quarterback on my college team,
or I almost made it.
Yeah,
I would have made it.
I would have made it, but I broke my ankle.
Gosh, took Nero to the kneecap. I don't know, man. Arc 1 to kind of cinch around because I think we have like a couple minutes left. 5. Season 4 could have been a lot better. Season 4 was really good, though.
Most of Season 4 was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I would still say it's better than, like, the second half of Season 4 was still better than a lot of Season, 1 and 2 for me.
The song was dope, too.
Yeah.
Why? Like, what problems do you have with Season 1 and 2 that the second arc of 4
is better than?
Yeah.
I don't have anything, there's nothing that I don't like about Season 1 and 2, it's just Season 4, so 1 didn't feel like, 1 felt like a better My Hero to me. More complete for like a shonen anime.
Season 1, you say?
Arc 1.
Of 4.
Of 4. Yeah,
okay.
Arc 1 of 4. Arc 2 of 4 felt more like what My Hero does, but it still tied into everything else in Arc 1, and then it expanded on it. There have been better second arcs. Provisional licensing. Provisional licensing was by far better, but I don't think the first half of Season 3 was as good. Because I don't remember what the first half of Season 3 genuinely was.
Wasn't that...
Oh, that was summer camp.
Summer camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then... Okay, yeah, Season 3, first arc, was good.
And Kamarri backtracks.
Well, even I don't like summer camp. The summer camp arc, I did not like. The only thing that really came out of that for me was the fight with All Might.
Is the reason you don't like it the way that they handled the fight with Muscular? Or Muscle?
So the reason I don't like it is because of the way they handled a lot of the fights. Muscular is the, prime example. But a lot of it was just... For me, if Season 3 would have been better, or not better, but it would have been very, interesting, if they would have... If Deku would have actually did go evil... If that would have been the turning point where Deku goes, or not Deku, Bakugo goes
I knew
evil,
what you're talking about.
It would have been more interesting to me. But I do like that it's like he does hold the guilt and the weight of All Might.
Mm-hmm.
Just they got him, they saved him, brought him back, and All Might lost all of his powers. A lot of the importance of Season 3 was what held over everywhere else, after it. But the summer camp just wasn't that big of a deal for me. The fights were really important. There wasn't anything that really... There wasn't much that changed in the characters from, that moment. You have Arc 2 of Season 2 where you fight Stain.
Mm-hmm. I wish he played such a bigger role.
Yeah. When he was introduced,
Which
I was
he
expecting
did.
so much more from Stain.
Yes. And that's what I was like,
he's going to be a big deal.
I understand the effects that he had on the rest of the series were,
Everyone
it was like a pebble in water,
him.
just, waves.
Yeah.
But I wish he had more of a presence. Yeah.
Spinner,
Dabi.
Even Twice, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know, there's other, Season 3, Summer camp, not that big of a deal for me. The Stain fight, it affected like how it had actual character development for everybody. Every single arc up until season 3 had character development for kind of everybody. Everybody else, they got their superpower, their signature moves. They were training really hard, but for season 3 to be pre-shadowed by 2, which was really good, and then overshadowed by 4, which is amazing, it just kind of falls behind for me. What saved season 3 was the fact of arc 2 being an actual, like, good arc. Like, provisional licensing was dope. No matter what anybody says.
Mm-hmm. I would call it the highlight of the series.
Series?
Yeah. Like, provisional licensing exam had the most action and most, like...
Even after watching season 4?
I don't like season 4.
Like, arc 1 of season 4?
It's more real-world experience, but as far as their schooling goes and their progression to becoming heroes, I feel like their provisional licensing exam, because that was after All Might.
Yes.
Yeah, because they had to get their licenses as first years.
Yeah.
I think that had more, like, effect on them as heroes. They're like, oh, well, like, I need to step up because All Might's not here. The symbol of peace isn't here. Like, it's, like, it's up to the younger generation now to, like, and that's just, I guess it's an after effect of, like, the Arc 1, Season 4 is, like, a direct correlation from them getting the licensing exam. That's why they were able to participate. So I guess I kind of one leads to the other.
It does play a big part in why Season 4 happened.
Mm-hmm.
Or why the events in Season 4 happened.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't be in Night Eye's agency.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or Fat Gumps or
Ryukyu.
Not Ryukyu.
Ryuku, I think.
Yeah, it's not an AI.
No, isn't it YU at the end?
Yeah.
Ryukyu.
Is there a second Y?
I thought there was.
I thought there was only one Y.
Is
I thought it was
Ryukyu
RY.
Or Ryukyu?
I don't know.
Either way.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's probably just because season 1 and 2 were so long ago, but, like, season 2, everybody remembers what happened with Stain. No matter what. Probably because they keep getting, like, Stain keeps getting brought up, but it was a big factor between Todoroki, Deku, and
Ida.
It was the reason why Aizawa talks to Deku the way that he does in season 4. Season 1 was watered down compared to everything else, honestly.
I mean,
But
it
needed to be.
It was the foundation. It needs to be built.
I genuinely think season 4 probably would be my favorite because of how... And that's just coming from me. It played into the genre of what it is. It played into very well. Season 1, or Arc 1 felt like a shonen. Arc 2 felt like a slice of life. Both of them worked very well. Like, I just feel like my heroes split, like, at a 50-50. Well, yeah, split it to 50-50 instead of being a 75-25, 75-25 shonen, or 75-25, like, slice of life. It's stuck, like, trying to be both. And it doesn't do either. Like, it obviously does them very well, but it's lackluster in portions of them.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And it's also that you value different things, having such, like, a background and a history, like, with this, I feel.
Like, the congruency, honestly. Like, it's like, watching a show that doesn't know kind of what it is. Like, watching a show that's supposed to be a thriller, then it goes to a comedy, and then it's kind of like a romance. Having it kind of bounce around it pulls you in several different ways. For me, it's like, if this is what the show is supposed to be about, or this is kind of what it sells itself as this genre, the head of the shonen big three, then it should be more of that. It should be actually good in what shonens do. But it's a great anime because of how well they do the characters, which makes it more of a slice of life for me. Because a lot of good parts of my hero aren't even really about the fights. It's about the way that everything in the world changes with or around and after the fights. For me, which makes it more of a slice of life. Because you can't say the fight with Stain was dope, but the fight with Stain was dope was because of the way that things changed after that and the way that it changed the world. The fight with Todoroki and Deku, the reason why it, for me, was so awesome was because of the impact of him using his fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for me, it holds a lot of more slice of life stuff instead of just, oh, this is a great shonen. It's like the fights in this show are awesome. The choreography in the show is awesome. They're not. They are in certain parts. They went fucking overall on the board with Deku and Bakugo. But there hasn't been anywhere else where it's like, oh yeah, this is good choreography. This is what makes a shonen good. This show does it good. It's, oh, this is good writing. This is good character development. This is good world building, which just makes it a good show.
I see what you mean.
I don't know.
The one thing I do want to say about Season 4, the second arc, if I had to choose between it being, like, a great, like, arc through and through and not having the fight at the end, or, like, them doing it how they did it and having the fight at the end, I would have gone with the latter. Like, just to have that fight with Endeavor and the Nomu. Like, I would have sacrificed the rest of the season just to have that fight there.
Yep.
Because
that fight was...
all those power moves, he went, yeah, and, like, just, like, tore down entire... Wait, that not being, like, a great hero, because you just, like, wrecked that whole building,
all
but...
the people were out.
They took the precautions.
There's collateral damage.
All the people were out.
Nah, man. If they would have made the raid bigger, put in maybe
Made what bigger?
the raid on the
Yeah, on Chizaki's...
Chisaki on the Yakuza. There we go.
Yeah.
Imagine having like Cierra and Ashido in there as well, or having. I think Cierra and Ashido would probably be or Tokiyami. Ashido and Tokiyami in the raid as well, and then having episodes to be able to explain stuff about them. To where the entire thing is like, oh, this is awesome, and then it drops off to where you don't have that awkward second arc, like, oh, this is weird.
One giant arc.
Yeah, because it's slowed down so much because you could have done instead of 2 arcs, do the full 12 episodes do all the season 4 as one continuous season. Have the raid go on a little bit longer, take a little break where they have, and then compile on the standings of the heroes, and then go into the Endeavor. Because it was 5 episodes of Gentle Criminal.
It
of
sucked.
backflashes and tea and bouncing around and stuff. Like,
It hurt me.
A lot.
5 whole episodes of that.
I think the cringiness took a year off of my life, honestly.
At least.
But imagine having, like, the raid being continuous. And, like, legitimately...
What if they got away?
But, yo, he did get his arms cut off.
Who got his arms cut off?
Chisaki, yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. The magician was like, nah.
I'm gonna yoink this
I'm gonna take
quick,
that real quick.
just as a souvenir.
He's like, remember that time you took my arm? Well, fuck you.
He did it with a robotic hand too.
Yeah,
It's
he did. He was like...
Nah, man, I don't know. I think season 4 was really... I'm really excited for season 5.
I feel like they're progressing well with the story writing and, like, being able to, like, get out of that, like, the way that they were doing it before. Like, there's progression in the fight scenes, like...
Oh, yeah.
So, I think they're gonna do better.
Showed with Endeavor. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Endeavor's fight was dope on all 3 ends. With the Nomu, Endeavor, and Hawk.
Yes.
It showed Hawk off really well. From as like he's now in the show. Let's kind of just show you what he can do. Well, it's all these little things. It was amazing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He can fly.
And he can also lend his feathers to other people.
To make them phoenixes.
Yes.
But no, I really, yeah.
Endeavor really said, I'm not flying, I'm just not falling.
Yeah. Since when can you fly? I'm just not falling.
Oh, man.
He's like, don't think anything of it.
If season 5 can continue I think it's because it started not to feel like a kid's show. I think that might be a lot of the issues that people have with the show itself, but it's not. It's if it continues to progress in the fights the way that it is, but continue the like younger side of everything, I would. Season 5 is going to be dope. I think there might be a couple episodes out already.
As long as I don't have to see Gentle Criminal again.
You probably will.
I will. I
You'll
probably
see La Brava
will.
at least.
Probably. And like a revenge scheme.
She legit told the dude with the police was like, "Hey, do you want to use your like hacking skills for good?" She's like, "Nah, I just want to help out General Criminal. Like, I'm not even worried about y'all. I'm doing this so that way we all don't go to jail." But I don't know. But y'all got anything else for this one?
Kamarri, your Instagram has something on it.
You're right. That sounds like it was planned, but it 100% was not. We are doing a pop giveaway.
Jazz hands.
Oh, were you just doing jazz hands?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you wanted it. I didn't look at you, I was looking at the camera. Yeah, we're doing a pop giveaway. We have this one and then the 10-inch All Might pre-ordered. That's coming in August 9th. Yes?
Yes.
August 9th. The way that we're doing it is if you go to my Instagram account, which is sin_prototype, there's a photo of us sitting essentially right here with the All for One pop right in the middle on a presenting box. Like the photo, comment a friend, have their friend follow. Friend doesn't have to like the comment, friend doesn't have to do anything else. Like the photo, send a friend, friend follow. It'll put you in a chance to win the pop. You can comment as many people as you want. There is no limit. And we'll just essentially send it to you. Or send it wherever you want it to go. So it's up to you. We have some friends that don't really want it, but they're going to make a deal to trade for it for something else. So...
just to clarify, each person you tag is a vote, or like a...
Entry.
Entry.
Yeah, an entry.
So
yeah. If you want the All Might pop for essentially free, go ahead and comment, tag, like, send it to people. We have it posted on Facebook as well, which I've been keeping track of that on actually all 3 of ours. So if you do that, we can keep track of those. It will be ending the...
August 1st.
August 1st. So you have about a week and a half.
Is that what we decided?
Yeah, August 1st, so it gives about a week to...
Sick. That was just an executive decision.
Yeah, no, it was August 1st, that way it gives us some time to go through, because we honestly...
There's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that are going in. So you want a free pop, go ahead and do this. We are going to try to do this oftener than we did giveaways with our last podcast, so yeah. I think that is all.
Leave a comment below, dubbed or subbed, which do you prefer? And leave any anime suggestions down there as well.
We have a list. We'll probably find somewhere to put our list up, just to show you guys like what...
A shared Google Doc where people can just add stuff.
Because it is extremely long at this point.
About a page and a half.
Yeah, single spaced. Enjoy the rest of your night, day, afternoon, whatever it may be, and travel.
B plus ultra.
Safe. B
Plus ultra!
Good night.